Welcome to the back pew. Jesus is talking to his disciples and he says, "You are the salt of the earth." A little bit later he says, "You are the light of the world." Well, who is the you? Have you thought about it? Who is that you that Jesus is talking about? And what might that mean? Just a few verses earlier, we have Jesus beginning the Sermon on the Mount. And he's talking to his disciples. He's gathered them, they're sitting there, he's seated, and he's teaching. And he teaches them about the blessed. He's teaching who are the disciples. The disciples are the blessed, those who so trust God. They live by faith, not by sight. They so trust God with their whole life that they boldly live out God's ways in the world now. And then he turns and says, "You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world." He turns from who are the disciples to what's the role of a disciple. He begins laying out that those who so trust God, who are living by faith, who are stirred to do bold and amazing things, are an essential to the world. The world needs us. And when I say us, I mean you and me, because that's who Jesus is now talking about. Those who are the baptized, those who are claimed by Christ, yoked to Jesus' death and resurrection. This isn't about playing church, you see. This isn't about coming to a club. This isn't about belonging to a nice social organization. No, Jesus is getting down into that nitty-gritty, and he's saying, you who trust Jesus, you are the salt, and the earth needs you. You are the light, and the world needs you. Dietrich Bonhoeffer said, "Disciples, therefore, cannot just think about heaven. No, they have an earthly task as well." And that's what Jesus is getting at. How we live out our faith is essential to the world around us, and the world needs us. Back in 1850, Germans were starting to come here and to Galveston Island, and then the word went out to a seminary in Switzerland saying, "Hey, we need help. We've got people here and we have no spiritual guidance." So pastors started being sent. We had a couple that came from Switzerland, and then we had some that came from Georgia and also from Pittsburgh area. They started to come to minister to and with the German population on the island. So 1850, they organized as a congregation. In 1851, the congregation opened a school. The school was organized and to be maintained by the congregation. Why? They had plenty of other things they could be doing. Why this? There were no public schools on Galveston Island. And so the church, valuing education, recognizing that education helps to better lives, helps to increase possibilities, the church said, "We're going to have a school." It operated for almost 25 years. Public schools began on Galveston Island in 1871, and in 1874, the public school rented out our church school. So how are we living as salt and light now? In 1851, that was one of the bold ways of the congregation. How about for us now? And how about in our own lives? How do other people experience you as salt and experience you as light? We're going to be talking about that this week at First Lutheran Church Galveston. I hope to see you either Saturday at 5:30 or Sunday at 10 a.m. Come ready to think, Come ready to grow. I pray you have a blessed rest of your week. Remember, please share the back pew. Share it on Facebook or send it a link by email. However it works for you, pass it along. And may you have a blessed rest of your week.